4 hours, 2 Dakinis, 800 grams. Something's screwed up.
I know, but you know what he did? He, of his own volition, he actually paid double for the session.
Far out. Beautiful.
Yeah, because it was so moving for him.
And experience happens like that, and it's working. And just the whole
Also,
space or something like that,
it's
beyond
just
any.
The privilege of being
Yeah.
there to support somebody through that. So yeah, so that you get the basic movement there. It's just allowing the person to feel whatever's happening in the nervous system, to let it happen. You know, the body is wise; it knows what to do. It's going to take you through whatever it needs to do.
When you were describing through the lips going, like the hands going, I mean, I generally associate that with sort of the energy blockage and then the flow starting again. Is that?
Yes, it's what you're calling the blockage is the sympathetic nervous system going into protection and defense. Yeah, I think there's a name for it. Technique, yeah. Natasha, do you want to say anything about that experience? I can see you just feeling a lot about it again.
Yeah. Well, he said he's coming back.
Yeah.
And did he say what he wanted to work on?
No, he didn't. As I said to you, I was quite surprised that he's coming back so soon. I think he's just released that really, really strongly. Yeah. And now he's more available to actually really start working with his sexuality in a more conscious way. It's almost like, even though he's had many sexual partners, he hasn't been sexual. He doesn't really know. It's not been available for him. And I think now he's really wanting to open more and really taste the nectar of this, you know, be there to learn. And he's got enough surrender that I'm imagining I would be able to go really deep with him.
The thing that you're describing here with him in particular, I mean, it's not even that it's a sexual experience, that was a loving experience.
Yeah. But the willingness for it to be sexual.
Yeah, wherever it went.
Yeah. You know, on another level you can look at it and you can say, the fact that I was sitting naked in front of him and saying to him, look at me, the general public thinks I'm a sex worker, I'm going to touch you now. You know, it's enough of an evocation of sexual symbols and whatever's there. I don't need to do anything more sexual than that to evoke. Maybe I had clothes on, yeah. I did, yeah. I don't even remember.
That's what was amazing. It's like, we didn't, nothing sexual had to happen, no confrontation, or no cutting off his head or anything, but he didn't have to do anything. Everything was so gentle. It was done just by allowing, and it's like a miracle happened.
Yeah.
Like, I could not believe it was happening. And I could so relate to it as well.
Love comes in all flavors. Sex is just the lowest form all the way to the highest. Don't put down because it's a low form. It's a bloody good place to start.
You see, if I didn't want to cut off his head, what I would have done is I would have stopped him from going back into the trauma. I would have seen him go into this, and I would have gone, breathe deeply, you're safe, you're okay, we're with you, it's okay, we love you, you know. But I didn't. I allowed him to go through the whole thing. That's all we mean. Yeah.
Oh.
Do you get the difference?
Yes, I get it.
Yeah.
His wisdom, him showing it for himself, and you witnessing and holding space.
Yeah. And he had a lot of wisdom, and we were just there for him, and we had the capacity to not feel this is too anxious for us, we need to do something about it. So, just briefly, 2 other things that we do. We help people to find their yes. One of the ways in which we do that is to help people to move through the body armoring, the way in which we protect our bodies by holding our bodies rigid. So just simply dancing, you know, can be a way of doing that, but there are different ways of doing that. when the body armoring starts to drop for somebody, then they don't need to protect themselves, weight drops, body changes. And there can be more of a yes to your own experience, your own being, the fullness of who you are. We also help people to find their no. So when is it right to say no? So in one of the sessions that I've had with a group of women, I said to them, we're going to look today at what happens when somebody attacks you. So this is the scenario. Here's a person, he's a man, he's stronger than you, he is attacking you, he's going to rape you. What do you do now? And what I did was I went to a friend of mine who is an expert in free-form martial arts, and I got some tips. And I basically showed them how to do this. So I asked a strong woman to push me down and put her arm over my throat and push me down. Now just that gesture of me being pinned down, already the room was exploding with emotion from the woman. The one woman went into tears because she remembered being in that experience of not being able to move. The other woman, one of the other women went, an older woman, she said, you know what, you can stop right here, because if I get in that position with a man, I'm just going to go, okay. And I asked her why. She said, because I was raised with the belief, with the belief that a man has the right. You know, this is a conservative woman, she's been married all her life, but she was raised with the belief, as a young person, that a woman doesn't have the right to say no. So for her to go into that exercise of actually what I was showing them then, she had me pinned down, and I showed them a couple of ways in which you can move your body, rotate your body. One of the simple techniques is you listen for the man's breathing, and if his breathing stops for a moment, you throw him over. Because the moment he stops breathing, he's vulnerable, and you can just tilt his energy. So I threw them all over the floor, all of them, trying to pin me down. And the message that their neurological system got is, I'm not a victim. I can get out, you know. But the big trauma for them was accepting that they don't have to be a victim. That they can say no, you know. You can actually choose not to have this experience. So, two last things quickly. The one is honoring your story. So we have our stories, you know, the experiences that happen to us. And sometimes they freeze in the body, and they bring what one of my teachers, Leslie Temple Thurston, calls the frozen child syndrome, where maybe it happened at 6 years old, that the child in you freezes and there's no more. You always go back to that place. One of my clients, a man, at 6 years old, his father left, and he decided at that point he's going to have to be daddy. So in all his relationships from then, you can imagine what ends up happening. He's 6 years old because he's trying to be daddy. So there it just took me taking him into the frozen child and getting the child to feel and to say whatever he needed to say, and let all the beliefs come out until it's done, and then he could be an adult again. So it's not about denying your story, but ultimately we can come to what Byron Katie says, which is, who are you without your story? You know, can you drop the story also? And then finally, can you see the gift in whatever you have experienced? There's a teacher called Lazarus who read this tape, made this tape that I found very profound, and he says on it that if you have had a sexual trauma in your youth, in your childhood, it's very likely that it would have opened psychic abilities in you. It would have given you extra sensitivity, extra awareness. And so a lot of us who become the healers and the supporters and the facilitators have had some kind of experience like that. And we've just come to a place where we don't see ourselves as victims anymore, and we can accept the gift of it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. I wanted to say all of that.